What's up, guys? So I'm coming to you guys from Colombia. I decided to come back and I'm on a herping, birding, wildlife tour of sorts. Just exploring, because nothing really lights me up like just being in nature in general. Despite how optimistic that sounds, I'm actually just making a quick little reaction video to a video someone made against my video that I made almost a month ago now on software engineering, which is completely unrelated to where I am right now. But in any case, I still wanted to make this now while I have a little bit of time. I've wanted to make a reaction video in general to like some of the comments and just like where I'm at and stuff, but I just haven't had the time. But it's coming, like after this this trip here, I'm gonna sit down and just make that video and like properly script it out and do the editing and blah blah blah. But for now, this is a little raw reaction to me reacting to this guy reacting to me, which is a little convoluted, but in any case. So the guy's name was Anton Daniels, but he's just a channel that just reacts to a bunch of random things. He's got like 200 something K subscribers. And to get a little bit more specific of what he was saying, he was trying to say that I didn't want to self-improve out of laziness in my career in software engineering. At the end of the day, he just took what I was saying at face value, and he was saying how like, oh, like this guy's lazy, he refuses to self-improve, blah, 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 in the context of software engineering. But there's like so much missing context there, because that entire video that I made was about, it wasn't coming from a place of laziness. It was coming from a place of me questioning my career and questioning what the next steps are that I want to take in life, because I don't want to end up in a spot 10, 20 years from now where I have responsibilities that tie me to a career that I'm not necessarily passionate about. So I think it is perfectly reasonable for me at the ripe old age of 26, while I have the luxury of the time, to question what to do next. So that's the entire reason why I was like, all right, maybe I don't want to invest any more time into this career. And that's it. That's where that was coming from. Like, I know I might have come off as a little entitled or privileged or whatever it might have you from that video, but that was not my intention at all, because no one is entitled to jack shit. And if anything, I'm craving work right now, to be honest with you. Like, something that Dan Coe said, that is that if you don't like pick your path in life, life will pick it for you. And I totally feel that. And because like I feel this pull to just kind of like get into some kind of work and just go crazy and just, put my head down and work. But I want to make sure I'm doing that, working on the right things for me. Like, and I'm ready to grind, like maybe my work is related to, like wildlife and nature or whatever, because like I'm literally here right now. Like look at this place. Like, this doesn't really do it justice, but like it's fucking nice. And this is just more my speed. Maybe the work that I have to do is related to this. I don't know. I'm exploring my options, but I'm just not lazy. In that video that he was reacting to, I was just saying how I didn't want to, grind out all these like data structures and algorithms and stuff after work every day, after already doing software development. But the reason was because in my career so far, I was able to get good at my job without doing that. Like, because those skills weren't necessarily relevant to what I was doing. I used to be a test engineer, and I was working on automation software and test software for hardware systems and product and stuff like that. I did that for like 4 years. So like, even without practicing anything after work, I just learned shit on the job, and I got good at it that way. And I don't know, like I have a good work ethic, and when I'm working, I'm not trying to like slack off or anything. I just did my job. I did it well. If I didn't know how to do something in Python, I just figured it out, or more recently when I was a diagnostic software engineer, when I didn't know how to do something, I figure out the syntax, I ask one of the people I'm working with, it's nothing too crazy, at least in my eyes. In that video, I was probably doubting my abilities just because like the interview process for software engineering doesn't necessarily reflect the job in certain cases. Literally today, I did a online career assessment thing, like a pre-screening thing. And I got this problem I've never seen before that I can guarantee you I would never see in the job, like, because the role was like a test software engineer, and they asked me this freaking what was it? It was a find the maximum beauty of a string. I didn't even know what that was, but I had to I had to figure it out, and I solved the coding exercise. But like it's just it's asinine to me. Somebody like him, he doesn't work in tech, he wouldn't understand. Like I don't know, there's two sides to it, right? Like, you know, on one hand, these companies do need to filter candidates and stuff, but like at the same time, like it's just, to me personally, I will forever go against the grain on this and say that like these interview questions can be a little ridiculous. Even though that like the beauty of a string question wasn't necessarily challenging, but like I don't know, it's just stupid. And then he was comparing it to how, like, you know, he was getting better as a content creator and stuff, and investing all of his money back into his business and continually getting better and continually improving. That's great, but you wanted to be a content creator. You want to do that, you know, you want to exceed in that skill, and which is in it, it's a skill 100%. Like that's the entire reason why I was questioning software engineering. I'm like, do I want, like, I'm already like at least average, maybe a little above average, but you know, like I'm not exceptional. There's like layers to this shit. I'm not, you know, somebody with like 10 years plus experience, someone who like has architected an entire system before. Like that's not me. But like I mean, I guess I actually have done that to an extent, but like not, I don't know, not in the level that I'm picturing. If you're watching this and you're working in tech, maybe you'll understand where I'm coming from. But in any case, the other thing I wanted to talk about was how, like, if you have any kind of software engineering skills with any kind of language, it isn't that hard to learn a different language, because all of the programming fundamentals, how to structure your program, data structures, like all that shit's the same. The technology might like scale to a degree, but like at least in the term of like programming, if I can write a program in the, say, let's say C or C++, it makes it easier for me to figure out how to use Python or C Sharp or PowerShell, you know, like all that stuff translates over pretty easily. Like a lot of these companies are like looking for specific experience with specific languages. I happen to have experience in Python and C. It might not be with a specific like technology within those languages, but like I still have the experience working with those languages. So like it literally just depends who you talk to, right? Like if you're talking to a recruiter, they're not going to acknowledge certain things. But like if I'm talking to someone who's like in on my team, you know, someone who's like trying to hype me up, that's also has like a technical background, they're just like, dude, like your resume's stacked, you know, you should be good. Like, yeah, I don't know, it literally just depends who you talk to. Something else that he was talking about was how like engineers are always in demand, and what he may have deliberately left out was the fact that tech layoffs are happening right now, and there is a squeeze going on, and they're only looking for like senior level people overall. I haven't seen any like junior positions really. I haven't seen many entry level positions or anything like that. My personal goal would have been to, if I choose to go back into engineering, I want to do embedded systems, because like that's the niche that I wanted to like delve into, because that lines up pretty well with my background. I went to school for computer engineering. That's like a mix of software and hardware. Although most people who study that end up in software, but regardless, that's kind of where I was shooting for, niching down into embedded. And that's what I was on track to do in my last job. But in any case, interviewing for a software engineering job does not equate to the actual job itself. It's an entirely different skill set. And the reason why I am questioning whether or not I want to go down that path is because I want to just pursue something that I know I can like get naturally good at, but also like fulfills me. And I don't see why I can't question that, right? Like, I don't know. I don't see the problem with that, as I've already said, because like this guy's just like, oh, he only wants to improve on the things he wants to do, not what's going to bring him the bag. I could make money with photography, or I don't know, sales or video editing. Like there's so many different like ways that you can make money. You just got to obsess over it and get good enough so that you're recognized, which isn't easy. It takes time, it takes dedication. It can also take money if you can like, you know, pay someone to teach you the skill faster. But like, you know, it is what it is. And also he was like throwing around like those crazy monetary figures of like 250K. I am nowhere close to making that much money, like at all. Like I made like I'm not going to specify how much I made, but like I did not make anything close to that much money. And obviously, like if I were to make that much money, I would have to earn it. You know how out of touch someone is when they're throwing out figures like that, and they just like generalize an entire like population. If you're making 250K or more as a software engineer, you're working at Fang. That's not even a professional goal of mine. Like if it happens, cool, that'll be a nice little like subtle flex. But It's really not my goal, because the one thing he did say that was accurate. To be fair to Anton, he said some things that were accurate, but one of the things that stuck out was that, yeah, there are other companies that are looking for engineers, but like, there's a reason why there's a bunch of fucking layoffs going on. So like, you're not just gonna sit there and be like, oh, he's lazy, but like, I've applied to literally, I don't know, I don't know the exact metric. I haven't really been tracking it, but I'm trying to do it calculated, so that, you know what I mean? Because at this point in my career, again, assuming I decide to continue with software engineering, I want to pick the niche that's right for me. Because the point that I was trying to make in that other video that I was making was that, I said, maybe I admitted that I like wasn't good, but like, what I meant is that I'm just average right now with the amount of experience that I have, or at least I feel average. That was the point I was trying to drive home. I've gotten plenty of positive feedback through my jobs over the years. Granted, coming off of a YouTube video where like this guy Anton totally took me at face value of being a fucking lazy piece of shit or something. I don't know. But like, I the only point I'm trying to drive home here is that I want to work. I just want to enjoy the work that I'm doing so that I can inherently get better at the thing. And then the process just kind of turns into a system, and it just like, churns, and it goes exponential from there. Yeah, maybe a couple generations ago, people just worked because they had to, and they just did whatever they had to do to survive. I'd like to think that in today's day and age, maybe people, depending on, the country you're born into, I'd like to think that most people in the Western world do have the privilege to be able to choose their career in like almost any capacity. Obviously there is a level of privilege. I'm saying that from a place of privilege, but I'm acknowledging it. So like, I hope that like, that doesn't come off the wrong way. But chances are, if you're in college, if you're going to college, you're choosing your major, you have a control over what your career can become. That's all I have to say about that. I don't know, man. Like, putting yourself on social media like I have, obviously that comes with opening yourself up to criticism. And I accepted that when I decided to make a channel, because like, I guess I didn't expect like obviously not everyone is going to resonate with my channel. That being said, you don't have to watch if you don't, but still, my entire life, I've worked hard. I've tried to get good grades in school. I tried to do well in college. I always took all that stuff seriously. Once I got a job, I took that seriously. I used to be a server. I started as a host and I got promoted to a server because I self-improved. Wild fucking concept. And I got good at my job. Wow, crazy. And then I got my job as an intern, I got better at that on the job without doing any of the software engineering hustle culture stuff. I just got better working on the job. And lo and behold, I got a full-time role. And rinse and repeat, 2 jobs later, I got the role that that was meant for me. Granted, I was laid off, but that was because the company wasn't doing well. Maybe I misspoke, or maybe I was just flat out wrong when I said, engineers are like the first to let go. But that video was a kind of an emotional one, or a react. I don't know. It was spontaneous. I wasn't really thinking about it too much. But in any case, it's just crazy how you can spend your like entire life just grinding, or most of your life grinding, and then just some dude on the internet takes one video you made and just stereotypes you into this like class of people that you just have so far removed yourself from. like oh my god, like when he's like saying these people are lazy and entitled and whatnot, like that's just crazy. Because like, I strongly disagree with that entirely. I've never thought of myself as being like that, like I've literally worked for everything that I've been able to do in life. And yeah, I don't know, just like enough said. Like the fact that I'm here right now in Colombia, like I fucking worked my ass off when I was working and saved up enough money so that I guess I didn't know I was going to do this, right? Like, you don't fucking know you're going to get laid off most of the time. But like, the money that I had put aside was probably going to go to a house or some shit. But then I got sucked into like entrepreneurship porn. And then, I was like, oh, I want to put this money towards like a business instead. So like I've started to invest into stuff that would help me do that. And yeah, here we are. Here we are in Colombia instead. In any case, yeah, it's just it's wild. I actually, you know, I commented on Anton's video. I would like him to reach out to me, but I don't think he's gonna. I'd love to like talk to this guy and just have him like try to come at me and debate me or whatever, especially because he doesn't even work in tech. So like there's so many fucking different layers to working in tech. So many. It's like, you know what I mean? Like it's something you can't really generalize. We all don't make 250K a year. God fucking no. We do not, you know. So yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. The whole entire purpose of this channel is just kind of like document my life and you know, take you guys along for the ride, whether it be good or bad. I also recognize that like those software engineering videos might not be the best look if a future employer were to find them, but I don't know, man. Like I kind of just took the risk, you know, like hopefully someone watching that was a future employer would just, you know, stumble into my channel and see my other videos and see that I wasn't a fucking degenerate. Because I'm literally craving work right now. I've been looking for work. I'll admit I haven't been looking for work as aggressively because I've been weighing my options. I've thought about sales. I've thought about obviously getting back into software engineering, whatever. That's the default generic path. But I've also thought about like I've been weighing my options for the reason that I already stated, that I don't want to pick something from now that I know I'm going to hate in 10 years. And I don't even know, like, I don't hate coding, but like, I could see myself getting to a point of burnout with it. And I see a lot of people that end up just inevitably getting out of it in general. But in any case, this is just a quick little spontaneous video that I'm recording on my trip here, looking for various different types of animals here in Colombia because it's freaking beautiful. I'm in this like cloud forest right now, and this is not entirely this isn't related to freaking software engineering at all, but I hope that you guys got something out of it. I hope that I'm not coming off as some kind of fucking entitled douchebag or whatever, because that's just not me in real life at all whatsoever. So if you guys resonate with this video, if you think it's okay to question your career when you're young so that you don't make a choice that you'll regret, you know, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one.